But I guess batter up. Get ready.
Oregon lawmakers getting hyped for the possibility of Major League Baseball in the Rose City. Today, the House of Representatives passed a bill that would authorize an $800 million bond project to construct a new stadium. But the MLB still needs to pick Portland over several other cities competing for the next new franchise, including Salt Lake City, kind of the Western regional rival in this competition. Plus, some lawmakers have concerns of whether Portland is ready.
This bill is bound to be a hit.
I'm anxious for the rebirth of this city.
We're swinging for the fences, whatever that means.
Optimism and baseball puns filling the Oregon House chamber Tuesday as representatives overwhelmingly pass an $800 million measure to fund the construction of a baseball stadium in South Portland if the MLB chooses the Rose City for a new franchise.
Independent modeling estimates that an MLB franchise could generate $5 billion in economic development, which can be exactly the shot in the arm that Portland needs as part of its revitalization efforts.
Governor Kotek has already voiced support for the idea, which includes no new taxes for Portlanders or Oregonians. Instead, the money would be paid back through a Jock Tax, paid by the staff and players on the team and any visiting teams. Ahead of the vote, Republicans voiced skepticism that Portland is ready.
There's been no discussion about transportation, no discussion about law enforcement. All the things that creates an environment that people want to visit downtown Portland is a myth.
I really would like to understand how this is going to really benefit the city of Portland. It's already pretty much a disaster area. It's burning.
Both of those Republicans voted yes on the bill after debate. Another city, as we mentioned, vying for an MLB team against Portland is Salt Lake City. We got renderings of what a new stadium would look like there from thepowerdistrict.com, which is where that would go. That's the location. Here are the renderings on your screen. We do not know when an expansion will be announced or which city will get a new franchise, but MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred has said that he wants to have all this settled before he retires in 2029. And as we mentioned here, if Portland gets an MLB team and the $800 million plan to build that stadium moves forward, that Jock Tax would be used to make that money back. And you might be surprised how common Jock Taxes exactly are in professional sports. Back in March, Vasily Varlamos asked the president of the Diamond Project all about how it would work. Take a look.
Are there any concerns that taxing players will make Portland a less interesting spot for the MLB? Is there any concern at all based on that?
No, because it's common practice everywhere now. So we have Jed Lowry on our team now, a 14, 15-year ex-MLB player. And Jed will tell you that he and his accountants were filing tax returns in every place they played. And so it's just a factor of if a Portland player shows up in New York to play the Mets or the Yankees, they've calculated a day rate, and New York wants their tax revenue from the time they spent in their city and in their state. So this is common practice, won't be anything new to the ball players when they get here in Portland.
And then you mentioned in the public hearing, too, that there are several different cities competing for these expansion spots. However, there are only two West Coast teams. So we kind of have our rival in Salt Lake City. How does our legislation, this proposed legislation, compare to the legislation that did pass in Utah this past session?
Yeah, it would compare very well in terms of the top end capacity and bonding and numbers. We wanted to get, equal to, close, or maybe a little bit better. And so we're still, pulling all that together. But what was submitted would put us in a great position. The difference is the way we're asking for that bonding is very different than what Utah and Salt Lake put on the books. They're pulling a number of different tax increases on their citizens and bonding it. We're only doing it through the players and the visiting players and the team. So different mechanics, but similar numbers to get there.
Vasily Varlamos with the president of the Diamond Project back in March.